Welcome back, welcome back. This time we're done with League of Legends. Now we're moving on to a tutorial in Hearthstone for people like me who is terrible at the game. With me here I have Nicolay Noticimus Jacobsen. He's actually a really good Hearthstone player. He's ranked number 1, is it, in the Telenor Liga?
Yeah, I think so.
He's actually the top ranking one in Norway, in the most prestigious Hearthstone tournament we have. That's impressive.
Well, thank you.
He's only 18 years old, and this is what I talk about when cyborg teenagers are much better than everyone else.
So what do you want to see? What do you want to learn?
Well, we're already in Hearthstone. Everyone, we need to learn the basic of in-game combat before we go to the more advanced stuff. Like, if we just start a game.
All right.
Click play.
Which class would you like me to play here?
I always like Paladin. Like, we are mighty, we're warriors, we're holy, we're best. I like the Paladin class. They're nice.
So
I like them.
Let's jump into a ranked game.
A ranked game.
So we're gonna play Paladin here, since you wanted to play that. Do you have a lot of experience with Paladin?
I have some experience, of course. I'm not a total noob. I'm just I think I'm making bad decisions, and I don't know how to build a deck. Like that's most of my big problems.
Well, we can go into deck building later on if you would like.
I really want to learn how to build a deck. I'm terrible at that stuff.
All right.
Now we're in there. You're facing a warlock.
Yes.
And first, we're always in this. He said you're going first. You have 3 cards.
Yeah.
And exactly how do you start? Already here starts the mind games.
Yeah, so you would like to choose the cards that's going to help you in the early game first. Since I'm Paladin, I'm playing a sort of deck that needs to control the mid to early game stages. I'm facing a Warlock. I have no idea what kind of deck list I could be facing. It could be Zoo, a more aggressive type of deck, or it could be a more giant-heavy deck with a lot of huge creatures that he can just bust down.
Yeah.
So right now I think I'm just going to go for the early game. We have a nice Knife Juggler here and a Muster for Battle, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep that. So I'm going to mulligan away the True Silver, because
you don't really need that yet.
Yeah, I don't need it yet. Exactly. And we got an Equality. That might be good.
It's good with Consecration here, like Area of Effect
Equality
damage.
and Consecration. There's a lot of these 2 or 3 combo cards that you really need to play around in certain matchups. And for Paladin, it's definitely just the Equality Consecrate. So we see a Void Walker from our opponent. It has 1 HP and 3 damage. No.
It
3
can't
HP
deal much damage, but it is a taunt. It will soak up some of the damage that you can throw out. Right at this moment, you can't clear out because he's got board control, right?
Yeah.
He got more minions than you.
The most important thing here is that you look at the card that your opponent has, and then you start to think, what is he playing? What is the rest of his deck? And since I know he played a Void Walker, I can assume that it's a Zoolock, because it's not normal to play Void Walker in any other Warlock deck. So versus this, I don't really have a lot of choices. I could tap or I could play Knife Juggler. The equality is not that strong here, and it doesn't really matter. Knife Juggler trades very nicely against the Void Walker because it doesn't die, so I think I'm going to go for that.
And also the passive is really great. Like if you summon a minion, you deal damage. It's a great early you have a 2 value card and get a 3/2 plus a really good passive ability.
Yeah. So we see that it's a Zoolock player, and now I have a Knife Juggler. It's very important that I get a lot of daggers here, which I will, and I also get a nice trade here. So I'm going to Muster for Battle because it's the most valuable thing I can do right now.
Will you get 3 spikes out of the Knife Juggler now?
I get 3 daggers, yes.
Oh,
I
so
also
basically
get
you already had a really good start. If you could take out the Flame Imp, that's huge.
What's very important right now is that I want the Knife Juggler to trade with a Void Walker, but I don't want the Void Walker to have any daggers. So I'm going to trade first before I play the Muster. It's very important.
Ah, so you can increase the odds of hitting the Flame Imp.
Yeah, so I would like to kill off the Flame Imp with the daggers. I would also like to kill off the Void Walker. Either or is fine. It's very unlucky if I
hit the face.
Oh, that's
good start.
That's bad. That's really bad. So now it doesn't really matter if I attack here or not. Actually, it does. I think attacking here is more important since I have these small dudes. They trade. So it's nice.
Now you will probably lose the Knife Juggler because it's totally vulnerable with 1 HP left.
That's true. So he might just trade the 3/1 or the 1/2, depending on which one he chooses. Or I could use that.
The Implosion. I actually only seen that in Arena, and I always like it. I get screwed over by the RNG.
Well, Implosion is a very interesting card. It's an RNG card. It has 3 possible outcomes. You can get 2 imps, 3 imps, or 4 imps. And he got 3, which is the normal amount of imps you get. So it's not that bad for me. It's definitely not the worst. So right here I don't have a lot of options. I don't need to Aldor anything. This is going to happen because I need to clear this off. It's better that I hit the 1-1 taunt instead of hitting the 3-1 with my weapon.
You have a lot of HP on your head.
Yeah, I do.
You don't want to waste.
So I'm going to play the Zombie Chow here. The heal doesn't really matter to me if it's an aggressive deck. Oh.
Oh.
That sucks.
Well, that hurts.
Well, right now, there's a new expansion for Hearthstone, so there's a lot of players. That's probably why the server has a lot of issues. Hopefully we'll reconnect to the game.
The timing isn't optimal, right?
Yeah. Oh, we reconnected. All right, everything is fine. So,
definitely, you have to take out the 3-1.
Yeah,
That's way too dangerous for you to have out there.
Seems like I didn't really reconnect. Hearthstone is really buggy right now.
That is nice, but we can talk about the other aspects. There are several different things you have to think about, right? I've heard mana curve.
Mana curve is important.
Card control and board control.
Yeah.
Especially, how do you plan that out? How should you balance your deck?
Whenever you're balancing a deck, you need to put every aspect of the game. You need to think about everything. You need to think about what's good right now, what's meta. You've heard of the term meta, right?
Yeah, the meta, the standard, what everyone is doing.
Yeah.
The best things.
It's very good to play around the meta, and that's what most people do. So whenever you build a deck, play around the meta. That's the most important key factor. Also,
but how do you know what is the meta?
You have to play. You have to play a lot.
You have to play, or you have to watch streams. Is that a good option?
That's also good. When
I did try to watch some streams, but I didn't know what they were doing. They didn't explain it very well. They're like, oh yeah, winning. Like, good for you.
Whenever I stream, I try to explain every single move, but it's a lot to talk about. Like my thought process, sometimes it's just way too much, and I can't talk about everything that I have in my mind. Yeah. So we're just gonna go out of this game because it stopped.
We already got the basics, so I think we can start with deck building.
We could.
Deck building is one of the most difficult things, because how do you build a deck? How can you? Because most of the new players, they have terrible cards.
Yeah.
They can't build anything. I like, I have options there, but I don't really have options there. And then when I play versus other people, they come with like sick legendary cards, and I'm sitting there like, yeah, how am my Crocolisk supposed to fight against that that Kel'Thuzad?
Yeah, exactly. Well, as a new player, it's very difficult. I feel like sometimes you need to buy packs and you need to get the appropriate cards, because you can't get too far with just playing the basic decks and the normal standard cards. You can't really get that far, because the cards that you get from the packs are just so much better, actually. So which class do you want me to build a deck for? Let's start there.
I know some of them is really difficult, but my favorite class of all time is playing the Warlock.
The Warlock?
How do you play a good Warlock? What's the best options going for the Warlock?
I like that you chose the Warlock, because the Warlock is the most interesting one to make decks for. You have so many choices and there are so many different playstyles. So lately, I have been experimenting with something called a Demon Lock.
Demon Lock?
Yeah.
That's a lot of demons.
It's a lot of demons. Yes. So in a Demon Lock, let's start with the basics. We need a Mortal Coil. Sometimes you have two, but we're just gonna have one. We need some Dark Bombs. I'm just gonna have one. Maybe I'll add a second one later on.
Going for the spells?
What?
Going for the spells, right?
Yeah, the spells are very important in this.
That's where you start. How many spells should you have compared to the rest of the minions?
Oh, that's a very difficult question. It depends what kind of deck you're playing. Like if you're playing a Freeze Mage, for example, you have about 80% spells and the rest is minions. It's
that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. So we're gonna have two implosions. Let's just do two. Void Caller is the most interesting card in this deck, and it's the most important card. So let's do a couple of Void Callers. Let's speed this up a bit. So I'm just gonna pick some random, or not random cards, but they're the cards you need. Siphon Soul is nice, Mal'Ganis and Jiraxxus.
Go for the strongest ones.
They're very strong, but again, these are like expensive cards. They're legendaries.
When you go for strong cards, exactly what makes them strong? Is that specific to what you need, or is some cards just really terrible?
It's how they work in the meta, and some cards are just more valuable.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna.
You got to think about the value, right? The mana, how much mana it costs, and what you can get out of that mana. You maximize the output of your mana.
Yeah. So this is one of the value cards that everyone plays right now. Big Game Hunter, because it kills off any creatures with 7 attack or more. And those creatures are
and still
very expensive.
It gives you a 4/2 out of just a 3 mana cost.
Yeah.
So you get 6 power basically out of a 3er and the ability to instantly kill a +7.
It's really good. So for the rest of the deck, we might add a Kazan because it's this is a card that works well in the meta where secrets are were there.
Great for mages and paladins.
Yeah, I definitely agree. We're gonna add a couple of Twilight Drakes and an Azure Drake. Why not? 2 anti-heal bots because you need heals. And if you're playing Warlock, most of the time you need a lot of heals.
And what about taunts?
Yeah,
you also need taunts. How many taunts should you have in the deck? Taunts is one of the most important minions, I think, at least. But what do I know?
Well, I definitely agree. We need some taunts, so let's do that. Let's get some nice taunts here. But we're not getting minions with taunts. We're getting minions that add taunts to other minions.
Ah.
Because in this deck, we're gonna rely on
the Sun Fury Protector,
Sun Fury, and Defender of Argus to taunt up big creatures. Like we're gonna have a Dr. Boom in there. We're gonna have Molten Giants, maybe some mountains. This is gonna be a hybrid between a Demon Lock and a Handlock deck.
Yeah.
All right, so let's just pick some random stuff and go into a game. See how it goes.
See how it starts. Now you have a Demon Lock. You have focused on your minions have to be demons.
Yep.
Like there are some benefits, spells that add to your demons, right?
There are.
Yeah.
Well, no, not in this deck. The most important thing is that I have the Void Caller, and it will call out other demons. And I have a lot of minions that rely on me tapping. The hero power for the Warlock is a tap, and it draws me a card, but I lose some HP. And
so are you aiming for the mid game, early game, late game?
Late game, definitely. This is a late game deck. It's pretty bad in the early game.
Hunters love Sudex. That can be difficult, can it?
It could be a very difficult matchup, yes. So what I'm going to mulligan for is...
removing the high cost ones. 4+ is always throw away, right?
No, it depends. Twilight Drakes are nice, and Molten Giants are always nice because he needs to be aggressive. We could keep the Hellfire, but since I have 2, I decided not to.
But this time, you're actually second, so you got that extra coin.
I do.
That helps. How you can play. You don't want to use the Sunfire Protector without anything on the board.
No, that's very true. It's pretty bad. So we see a Abusive Sergeant. Again, I told you about how important it is to read from the small amount of cards that you can see in the beginning. So by seeing Abusive Sergeant, I can assume that my opponent is playing a Face Hunter, which is a very aggressive Hunter deck.
Yeah, and I also used it without utilizing the passive. Is that a smart thing to do? I really like that +2 damage he brings.
It's smart if you don't have another 1-drop, because it's 2 damage on the board right now. I can't really coin out a Dark Bomb because it's not very nice. It's just bad.
It's not a nice thing to do to your opponents, or?
No, it's just a bad play because I want to get out the Void Caller or the Twilight Drake. Here we see I have a demon, so when the Void Caller dies, Mulliganus will come out, and he's huge. So let's just Dark Bomb one of these. It doesn't really matter which one I choose, but I choose not to kill off the Mad Scientist because I don't want the Secret up right now. Secrets are not nice.
Nobody likes the Secrets. It's just annoying, like, what is it? What did he just do?
Yeah. So, I don't mind the fact that I'm taking damage here because I have Molten Giants and... Oh, there's a heal. That's a very lucky draw. Now, Hearthstone is a game of draws, and it's very important which cards you draw, and you have to be lucky sometimes.
And now you got the Void Caller, and you got a really good demon on your hand. This can be huge if he just goes all in trying to take it out.
Yeah.
He got the possibility to take it out if he smacks it into you. And does he know this?
Sometimes they will just silence it if they have an Ironbeak Owl. Some other times they can just ignore it and keep going face. We just have to see and we just have to wait and see. I think this game.
How long will this game last?
I have no idea. It could last for 5 more minutes. It could last for 10. It could last for hours.
Hours, sure.
Well, this is basically, we're just going through the basics. So we went through the deck building and we went through a bit of the game. What happens in the rest of the game really doesn't matter. So we could honestly just quit.
Oh, so you think you have a good start there?
Well, it's very difficult to learn new Hearthstone with a limited amount of time that we have. So in this game, if we would have continued, I think it would be an even game. Maybe I would win. It depends if he has an Ironbeak Owl. If he didn't have it, I think I would have won that game.
It is interesting, actually, how you plan, but it is difficult to plan when you don't have any cards.
Exactly, yes.
So, is the best way to go through Arena so you get to learn the cards and get new cards? Or
I would
just
say
buy packs? Do you buy packs?
I buy packs because I don't like Arena. I'm terrible at it.
Arena is the best thing, but I hope you guys out there have learned something. This was a good experience for me, at least. I got some good helps and tricks, so if anyone out there hope to start Hearthstone, this is the guy to talk to. You might see him scurry around here. I'm gonna make you guys annoy him around. I'm just kidding. We will have a break now, and later, in a short while, actually, StarCraft will be showing up here. And that's some excellent matches ahead of us. Not gonna spoil too much. We're moving in for a break, so you definitely want to watch StarCraft later. So I say thank you for us. I hope you enjoyed watching. Hope you learned something. We see you later.